sweeties, how are you doing? Welcome to Naya Sim, and thank you all so much for all the support you shower me here with. So today we'll be talking something very important, and it's about this Jewish lobby APAC. So now it is kind of looking a bit scary because it looks like they want to have control majority of the things going on in United States. And I am asking, why and how did they get all this power? Because I don't see how outsider will come into a particular place and dominate that place. And all they are working right now is to dominate so many parts in United States. And what they are doing is not just, they are also doing it to strengthen, according to them, they are doing it to strengthen their relationship with United States. But I think this is very scary because now they are going into schools and now they are going to indoctrinate schools. Now I see the reason why some books are being banned. And not just only that, they are also going into Air Force. And I am actually asking, I've been asking this for a longer time, how come the Jews have so much power in United States? Because I don't see how in Congress, they are also work like, if you are not for them, you are against them, and they are looking for a way to lay you off. And this young lady really explained it so great. Let's get into this video.
As a veteran of the United States Armed Forces, this particular piece of document really, it's really bothering me. It's bothering the fuck out of me. So not only does APAC manipulate, influence, and dictate who we vote for in our elections, but they're also involved in our military. They wrote a series of papers called U.S.-Israel Relations, and there's 4 parts. The strategic value of Israel, part 1. Part 2, Israel and the United States Air Force. Part 3, the campaign to discredit Israel. Part 4, Israel and the United States Navy. I am going to read to you Israel and the United States Air Force. With that being said, I appreciate some coffee that might end up turning into bill money, as we really are going down this rabbit hole. The APAC is involved in our armed forces. So I'm going to read you the executive summary that was published in February of 1983. Let me go ahead and preface this for the people who are hard of hearing. This is not a 2023 document. This is a 1983 document. Okay, look, I'm even going to print it out right here. It was published in 1983. While the U.S. Air Force has not been permitted for political reasons to exploit fully the potential for strategic cooperation with Israel, Israeli assistance has been significant in a number of areas, including providing combat data on the performance of American and Soviet equipment in 1973 and in other wars, which significantly affects the United States Air Force expenditure of $2 billion per year on conventional forces, research and development, and $20 billion on non-nuclear procurement, meaning that they've been testing those weapons out on Palestinians. Demonstrating the vulnerability of Soviet SAMs and interceptors in Lebanon, which may force the USSR to divert large sums from the force expansion to force renovation and replacement. Contracting to overhaul and maintain engines and components for the United States Air Force aircraft in some of the world's most advanced facilities, helping to raise United States Air Force operational readiness, exchanging intelligence about Soviet and Soviet allied forces in the Middle East and the Mediterranean. However, the potential for future cooperation is considerably greater, including use of Israeli ports and airfields, as offered by Prime Minister Begin, access to which is much less likely to be denied abruptly than facilities in countries like Oman and Somalia. Providing deep cover for USAF military transport aircraft, which could be vulnerable to attack while moving vital equipment and supplies through the Mediterranean and the Middle East in crisis, providing secure and reliable storage facilities for USAF fuel and supplies, which must be prepositioned in peacetime to support rapid deployment of large numbers of tactical aircraft in crisis, substantially greater use of Israeli contract maintenance to improve readiness at a reduced cost. Use of Israeli facilities could be particularly important to USAF as a part of an overall Middle Eastern base mix, for which prudent planning requires at least one facility as reliable and secure fallback position in the event that access to other less reliable sites is denied. Curiously, the failure of the Air Force to exploit these opportunities seemed to have more to do with political objections than with defense effectiveness issues per se. Specifically, some feared that closer relations with Israel would impair ties with Arab countries and would be inappropriate because some of the policies of Israel differ from those of the United States. But these objections, which seem to have great intuitive appeal in some quarters, have not been subjected to careful analysis. For example, close relations with Israel has not in the past prevented increased American influence in the Arab world and may have enhanced influence. Our relationship with Israel is based on an enduring affinity between the peoples of two countries, and an agreement between two countries is likely to be respected by any future Israeli government. American arrangements with other countries in the region are often made with unpopular elites who may not remain in power or who may feel forced to abrogate agreements with the United States during periods of crisis. While there may be differences between the United States and Israel, the two countries have much more in common than exists between the U.S. and Oman, Somalia, Saudi Arabia, and not to mention Korea, Pakistan, and the Philippines. It is not necessary for a reliable ally to agree on every point. At a minimum, the potential cost and benefits of enhanced strategic cooperation with Israel need to be systematically compared with other policy options available in the United States before arriving to a final judgment. This has not been done. So this 1983 executive summary was for the APEC to lobby to the Pentagon and the United States government to strengthen their relationship by building an Air Force base in Israel. At the time, many politicians was against that because they saw it as a conflict of interest, especially a conflict of interest with their other allies in the Middle East. Fast forward to October 27, 2023, the Pentagon awarded a multi-million-dollar contract to build a U.S. troop facility for a secret base that is located in Israel's Negev desert, 20 miles from Gaza. If I was a betting woman, the reason why the Pentagon is failing their audits is because the money allocated to them is being resourced elsewhere that is not being reported. By law, you're supposed to report every single multi-million-dollar contract. And the fact that $35.8 million is not publicly announced for the construction of Site 512 base in Israel is extremely concerning. Do as you wish with this information. I may have to make this into a whole playlist because the APEC got their hands in everything. You name it, their hands are in it. So with that being said, I appreciate y'all donating to the coffee fund, because the coffee fund is about to be in escrow for potential bail money. On this episode of the APEC Got Their Hands in Everything, let's talk about American public school education. In my good old state of Virginia, let me show you how the APEC changed the entire curriculum in Virginia state education. And if I were you, I would look up your state too. The Institute for Curriculum Services formally requests changes to Virginia textbooks and teacher guides in coordination with Jewish Community Relations Council. The Institute for Curriculum Services is a California-based nonprofit organization that works behind the scenes to change curriculum and textbook references about Jews, Judaism, and Israel. In a January 31st, 2018 webcast that you'll find on YouTube, sponsored by the Jewish Council for Public Affairs, an umbrella organization, Jesus Christ, ICS head Elias made the following claims: that ICS has successfully made 11,500 changes to textbooks across America. When state education departments initiate textbook reviews, ICS works with Jewish community relations councils, usually unincorporated units inside major Jewish federations, to contact textbook review committees to review and submit change requests. Lead JCRCs submit these requests ICS changes. Common requests include changing references to Israel's wall, partially built across the Green Line, to security barrier or simply fence. In a January 31st, 2018 webcast that you'll find on YouTube, sponsored by the Jewish Council for Public Affairs, an umbrella organization, Jesus Christ, ICS head Elias made the following claims: that ICS has successfully made 11,500 changes to textbooks across America. When state education departments initiate textbook reviews, ICS works with Jewish community relations councils, usually unincorporated units inside major Jewish federations, to contact textbook review committees to review and submit change requests. Lead JCRCs submit these requests ICS changes. Common requests include changing references to Israel's wall, partially built across the Green Line, to security barrier or simply fence. Insistence on Arab agency in depictions of violence. For example, that textbooks not say war broke out between Israel and Arabs in 1948, but rather Israel was formed and Arab states attacked it. And this is how we did not know about the Nakba in 1948. They fucking removed it from the text. Jesus Christ, man. Kramer Elias of ICS claimed to have overcome input from a Muslim-oriented group in the Pacific Northwest that similarly tried to influence textbook content. The next initiatives ICS claimed to be working was the State of Virginia textbook review. JCPA President and CEO David Bernstein congratulated ICS, saying he knew it received a great deal of presumably financial support. They were bought out. Bernstein considers the other side of the political spectrum is on the issue to be the BDSers, those calling for the boycott, divestment, and sanction of Israel and anti-Israel groups. On February 1st, 2018, IMR MEP submitted a Virginia Freedom of Information Act request with the Virginia Department of Education for all copies of input submitted from or on the behalf of the Institute for Curriculum Services, Jewish Council for Public Affairs, or the Jewish Community Relations Council, or federations during the textbook review and approval process for history and social science textbooks. Below are the links to the original PDF covers and the responsive documents released by the state of Virginia on April 4th, 2018. Below are the PDFs are the Israel Lobby Archives selection of ICS quotes and comments on interesting and misleading proposed ICS changes in the textbooks. You can find all of this information on the Israel Lobby Archive. This is where I'm reading this from. Common themes in ICS requests to make changes to Virginia textbooks: qualified claims of Islam as expressing Muslim religious belief while referencing those of Judaism as God's covenant. Replace Christian versions of key texts, such as the Ten Commandments, with Judaic versions. Emphasize the Jewish ethnicity of major American historical figures. Now, the emphasis of saying that to be Jewish is an ethnicity, this is recent. Like 2018 recent, because prior to 2018, if you were Jewish, it was a religion. That was it. No different than being Christian or being Muslim. It was a straight religion. Right around 2018 and later, all of a sudden, Jewish people was an ethnicity. And I never quite understood why the switch. Now I see it. When you recognize Jewish people as an ethnicity, they fall under the same provisions and protections as any other discriminatory crimes. They fall under the same protection of the 1964 Civil Rights Act. Even though religion is a protected entity, they wanted to add the extra provisions. That's just my guess. Eliminate the terms such as settlers, occupation, land theft, and wall, or replace it with more neutral terms such as disputed, captured areas, security fence, and controlled. Emphasize Arab culpability for the crisis initiated Israel's 1948 War of Independence, leading to military action, but not Israeli culpability. Example given, surprise Israeli airstrikes on Egypt commencing the 1967 Six-Day War. Discourage students from conducting open internet research on current events lest they run into controversial content. Instead, recommend approved websites such as the ADL and the JewishVirtualLibrary.org. Eliminate or replace historical artwork created for predominantly Christian audiences. Add content that augments Israeli claims to occupy territory in the Middle East, such as changing maps of the Golan Heights as belonging to Israel rather than Syria. Reference Israeli claims such as Israel annexed East Jerusalem as settled fact without referencing lack of official recognition by other nation states. Delete all references of Palestinian territories. Where ICS has already successfully lobbied for changes in the national edition of textbooks, it demands that changes also be made to the state of Virginia editions. Publishers of textbooks targeted for change include National Geographic, Prentice Hall, Five Ponds, Press, Huffington or Houghton, Mifflin, Harcourt, and McGraw-Hill. Oh, sweet baby Jesus. The AIPAC, this is how, as an adult, I'm now learning about the Nakba. How, as an adult, I'm learning that Israel has been always the aggressor. And that since I was young, Israel has gaslit the American people into thinking they were the victim because they changed the entire curriculum.
Welcome to the United States of Israel. We've given Israel over $300 billion since World War II. Welcome to the United States of Israel. We let AIPAC decide who and what type of person can hold political power in our country. Welcome to the United States of Israel, where when Israel massacres and targets Palestinian civilians, we say that they have the right to defend themselves. Welcome to the United States of Israel, where we will vote on laws and resolutions that say that opposing Israel is anti-Semitic. Welcome to the United States of Israel. 37 of our states have passed anti-BDS laws that penalize and muzzle free speech by punishing those who want to protest or boycott the state of Israel. Welcome to the United States of Israel, where our politicians and news companies will turn a blind eye to genocide to keep their pockets filled. Welcome to the United States of Israel. The future will blame us for our role in the genocide and erasure of the Palestinian people. I sure hope you like it here. I saw a comment that said, welcome to the United States of Israel, and this inspired me to make this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. That's all. Free
So
Palestine.
this is all I got from the stitches and the video. And it looks like everything that is going to happen has kind of been planned. I don't know. But this was, according to what the young lady read out, This was from 1983, right? But then it looks like what they wrote in 1983 is coming out right now to play out. And now I am going to ask, why is it that the AIPAC, the Jewish lobby, why is it that they have so much power in the United States? According to what the other young man said, he said it is now the United States of Israel. And when you do not when you do not support them, you are anti-Israel, you are anti-Jewish, and they all look for a way to make sure that you are not in position. And the way it is looking, it looks like they are looking for a way to get rid of anybody, especially black people that do not support what they are doing. Because right now, when you tell them that what they are doing in Palestine is genocide, they say that you are anti-Jewish, right? And then look for a way to fight you. And that was also why, the squad, the black and the people of color, actually they all called them back again into Congress to ask them questions. And what they asked them was, do Israel have right to defend themselves, right? And they all said yes, except for one person. And then I am asking, what is Israel defending exactly? Because they are not the ones defending themselves. They are the ones doing something against other people. So now, AIPAC now is looking for a way to dominate. And there was a video that I watched, and the person was explaining how the Jews dominate almost everything, especially entertainment, NFL, and the rest of it. And I am asking, how come they have so much power? Because for somebody to penetrate into somebody's political group or something, it means that they are very powerful. It's not something that every other person can wake up to do. It takes a lot of guts or a lot of resources for somebody to have opinion over what is going on in your in a country, right? So now it looks like they have so much opinion, and now to the extent that they built what is it called? I think Air Force. Why did they build that? They built that in order to strengthen their relationship, U.S. and them Israel or Jewish, relationship with America. And now they are going into schools, and that is a little bit, for me, it is scary, because if they are also not going to penetrate into school, it looks like that is going to be a very problem, because kids are going to be fed what they are not supposed to be fed, and I feel like it's more like indoctrination, indoctrinating people to agree to what they are not supposed to agree. And I think everybody really needs to wake up, because I don't understand how all of a sudden AIPAC wake up and all they want to do is to dominate. And we should also hold our leaders accountable for whatever that is going on, or for whatever power they are, showing us now, because it is more like if you are for us, we got something for you, you got some part, and if you are against us, that is the end of it. Which shouldn't be. It's only really, sincerely speaking, I don't know how to explain this, but I thought some countries are corrupt, but now I know how corrupt America is. I am not lying. America is very corrupt, and we probably have been seeing them through the eyes that they have almost all the all the basic amenities, and life is a little bit better and all that. But aside from that, there is even the life that is people are saying is better. I think inflation is almost killing everybody. People cannot afford to live life and all that. But sincerely speaking, America is very corrupt, and Genocide Joe is not even helping matter, because I don't see how he gave power to people that are not supposed to have a lot of power in a country. I stand to be corrected. If there is something you want to let me know about this, why not? I see all your comments. I read all your comments. Don't think I don't see them. I see them, but I cannot respond because I also work. Thank you so much, and see you all in my next video. Bye for now.